Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. In the last episode, we got ourselves 5 golden leaves, we got ourselves a key, we got ourselves a bunch of secret seashells, and in this episode, we're gonna get ourselves into this dungeon. Level 3, the Key Cavern, one of the few dungeon themes I'm actually not all that fond of. I don't know, some people like it, I'm just not overly too big on it. We go over to the right here, like we usually do. We always want to go over to the side, because going up is usually where you want to go, and no! I can't help but be pushed back! Attack! Attack! I can't do anything to it. Mark my words, I will follow through on my threats to you eventually. So, we can't do anything else. Let's just head on to the north, the way you're usually supposed to go when you walk into a dungeon, and obviously use that on there. Right here we got the bombs, a new enemy that we haven't run into yet. They bounce off the walls until they eventually explode, but oftentimes they're not really going to run into you. Of course, you can always just swing your sword in the general direction of them, and you'll usually deflect them. We cannot go the other way, because that way we have these things. You can't do anything about those yet. There must be some way to tackle that obstacle, like it said. Open this chest and... Ah! Soul! Okay, no, I didn't really get... That's the thing is, usually I get surprised by that chest. Yet, for some reason this time around, I kind of knew it was coming, so it's really odd. I usually get surprised by it, but that time I was just kind of going like, oh! I don't know. I'm just being weird. I'm just crazy. Over here, we can't do anything else because the floor is raised up, so gee, I wonder what mechanic from Link to the Past and from the last dungeon is going to make a comeback, which, by the way, just saying, a lot of people have been telling me, like, oh, that mechanic's not new, it was in Link to the Past. I was saying that it was new for this playthrough, not that Link to the Past invented it, but... That aside, we got a piece of power right here. Unfortunately, it will not be of help to us against that little glob over there because we can't do anything about him, and we need to defeat all the enemies to make whatever is going to appear here appear. So we're going to have to ignore this for the time being. Got some souls right here. We'll just take them out instantly. Let's see if I can get some rupees. Okay, got a fair amount. And, we got on here. I want to head south first. Right here. These guys are going to teleport around the room when you try to get close to them. They are quite annoying. But... wow, I shoved him down the cliff. I shoved him down the cliff. Okay. Damn. You always get bombs from that pot there and from that pot there, so if you need bombs, you can kind of come here to replenish them if you're in the area. Kind of a nice little thing. But with that, we get yet another key, so let's head on over here, and this is... For me, this is one of the more difficult rooms of the dungeon, just because of those conveyor belts together with these enemies right here. Like... Great, I was gonna use a spin attack right there and finish them off easily, but I messed it up. Wonderful. Let's hop there, hop back, and hop up, avoid the attack, go over, attack you, making things... Wow, I'm getting really fancy here. I'm just too damn slow. Okay. The frickin'... oh my god! Come over here! Jeez, these guys get a lot easier once you get a certain item, but as you'd guess, I don't have said item yet, so I'm having to, like, snare them the old-fashioned way, and I'm not having an easy time doing it. Oh, no, 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 no! Exit the room and come back to make the key respawn. We have to defeat some Zols here if that happens, so you don't have to fight them again, thank God. That was... At least I didn't die. I guess I can say that. So we're gonna head to the north here. And check it out. It's that blue crystal that we need to hit. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and hit that. We got a Stalfos Archer right there. Not bad. Gonna get you. And if we lift up this pot, you will get something that I desperately need. You will always get a heart every time you lift that up. So should you be in need of health, you can do that. We do not have the stone beak, but we can press that. Doing so, we can head upstairs, and this is taken care of, allowing us to get the stone beak. So how about we go downstairs and try using that on the outside, just see if he has anything to tell us. Just telling you, he doesn't tell you anything useful. I already know this. It's kind of probably his least useful thing later. Yet, far away, do not fear, dash and fly. Yeah, I never understood that hint until, like, later. Like, it's not as helpful as, like, his other hints. But then again, I guess it makes sense they're trying to not make the hints as obvious because it's been a little while, so... Difficulty scaling. Okay, I see where you're going with that. But, I wanted to do that really quick. But I didn't want to just completely skip over that. I wanted to come back down here and show that in this room, should we want to, technically I usually come back and get this later though, but I just kind of wanted to get it out of the way because I understand some of you are kind of obsessive-compulsive like me, and while I can kind of stop being obsessive-compulsive for some of these chests if I know that there really is a better time to get them later, I just wanted to get it out of the way quickly because in it, you get the dungeon map, which, honestly, I like having this through a good chunk of the dungeon, even though technically you can come back here and get it later on a more convenient on-the-beaten-path type time. But I just kind of wanted to grab it right now. So, as we're going through this dungeon, we only got one more door downstairs to head through, and I wanted to say, now that we have the dungeon map, you know it's called the Key Cavern? Look at how it's shaped. Like a big key and a small key. I always thought that was kind of cool. So we're over in the small key portion, and hey, a piece of power! Okay. So, anyway, going with what I was about to say. As I'm going through here, I wanted to kind of bring something up. You guys were telling me the reason why a lot of people hate Guardian Acorns is just because of the music alone. And, you know, just because it feels like you don't ever really outright need the Guardian Acorn a lot of the time whenever you do get it. I mean, there are times when I think it's useful, yes, but I do agree that it's not useful all the time. And I get it that you guys think the music's annoying. It just, as odd as it is to say, even with as impatient as I typically am, the music never really bothered me. And I kind of think that if it ever did, I would just kind of turn the sound on the Game Boy down. But at the same time, I do kind of get it. In a Let's Play video, you can't really turn the sound down and still enjoy the commentary. And for that reason, to be courteous to you guys, I won't be picking them up unless I feel that I really need them, okay? Which shouldn't be all that often, because aside from the Death and Tail Cave, I think I've been playing pretty decently. So, well, okay, not that room that I was in, but still. You know what I mean. I don't think I've been playing as bad as I could be. I've seen, like, Let's Plays where people have played a lot worse than I have. We want to head on over here to the left, and we got you guys again. Okay. Okay, we took out them out in one hit. Thank you, piece of power. We got ourselves a key over here, and black and white color transition, go! We go in here. Got even more enemies to take care of. We take care of all of them. That makes treasure just appear. We head in up here. I am just blazing through these rooms now that I have this. Oh, that looked funny. Let's see. To defeat the black monster with the hard shell, feed him something explosive. Okay. So, if you haven't guessed, that is basically slang for, hey, buddy, you need bombs. Jump up there and get a whole bunch of them. And just letting you know, by default, you can carry more than 10 bombs. For instance, when I carried that, I got myself 19. That gives you 10 bombs. So, should you ever need bombs, this is a good place to grab them. Or should you need bombs going through this dungeon, this is a fantastic place to grab them. Then again, I think you kind of have to come through here. The only way you could do it is if you just didn't see the bombs there, or if you were just lazy and didn't feel like it. Right here, we get 50 rupees. Very nice. Again, how is 50 very nice and 20 joy in all caps? We could leave back there to go back to where we were, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, man, this piece of power is lasting a long time. If we go here, we can see that there's a crack in this wall in this room down there. And there's no crack on the wall over here. And then we can also see that there is a room with 3 green bombs right there. And this is kind of a clue for something that you're supposed to do a bit later. So remember this area. If you are the floor below and you try to do that, and you want to go further through the dungeon, that is kind of your clue for needing to bomb that wall right there. So we take care of all these guys. And what do you say? Let's head up here, area we haven't been to, and check it out. It is just what that owl statue was telling us about. We are going to go ahead and place our bombs right in front of them. I tend to get hit on these guys a lot because you have to be like really, really close to their heads to make it work right. It was kind of something that bugged me on my first playthrough, was that I couldn't really feel like I could get close to them without getting hit all that much. Like, the hitbox for them is really touchy, and they just change directions so often that You see this? I'm like trying to not get hit, yet I seem to only hurt them when I get hit. Granted, they do drop fairies, so you can get hit by them a few times and still be perfectly fine. And there I did it fine, so it's not impossible. It's something that I always struggled with. Because the hitbox is... Yeah, see right there, he turned right as I was pressing the button. It's just... This is one mini-boss that I can't really get too much behind. I mean, I understand that it's, you know, basically a reskin of Dodongo, but... I don't know. It was a boss fight that I've never really enjoyed. When they stop like that in place, you can always use it on them and hit them that way, but still. Got a teleporter back to the start of the dungeon right here, but we don't want to give that yet. What we want to do instead is, we want to head over here. Let's push this, push that. And from this chest, we get ourselves the Pegasus boots, an item that I have missed for a long time. In Skyward Sword, you got the ability to run, so they sort of kind of got a 3D incarnation, but... You know, I always wanted the Pegasus boots in Ocarina of Time because I missed how fast you could dash in the older games. And, like, in Ocarina of Time, like, all of a sudden you're slow. And I feel like I have to, like, you know, bunny hop my way all over Hyrule if I want to, like, get anywhere in a realistic amount of time. Especially with how big and fast Hyrule Field is. I don't know. It's just something that always kind of bugged me a little bit. We want to head back into this warp really quick. And I'd like to bring up a mechanic of the Pegasus boots. And that is... If you have your sword equipped... and have the Pegasus boots equipped at the same time. When you use the Pegasus boots, you will dash with your sword out in front of you. This is a fantastic way to attack certain enemies. Case in point, those teleporting enemies that we're fighting earlier. Obviously not the bombs, as you saw there, because I blew myself up. I was not actually trying to show that, but anyway, we can now destroy those crystal objects. We can destroy this guy. And because we can destroy this guy, we can now go into that other room and defeat those 2 Stalfos and get the reward that we so richly deserve. And once again, the Pegasus boots screw me against the bomb. Wonderful. Of course, the Pegasus boots can take these guys out in one shot. And there we go. We get ourselves 200 rupees. You're ecstatic is right. I like how ecstatic is just so wonderful that it needs to be in all caps. You're just that dang ecstatic. And then now that we've done that, we can also head over here. And remember, this freaking thing that caused me so much trouble, I can now smash it to bits and get myself a small key. Okay. So, that is all fine and good. I am happy about that. So, how about we head back through this warp? Okay. So, there's only one place that we haven't gone to yet if you look at the map. We have not gone off to the right, and we haven't gone to the lower part of the small key, because the small key is the downstairs section, whereas the big key is the upstairs section, if you were confused at all about as to why it's in 2 separate segments. It was something that I didn't really get when I was younger about this. I actually thought it was 2 separate segments, not intended to be different floors, and I didn't really piece together the fact that you know, go through those various areas and do all that. Right here we got an arrow, and by hitting that, we open up ourselves a room. So that gives you a hint to where you're supposed to bomb right there. I think it's pretty obvious. He does say poke suspicious parts of the wall with your sword and listen to the sounds it makes. So that's a little bit of a hint. On top of that, you could also bomb this from the other side as well, not just from this side, to make yourself a shortcut back to that area that we were just in. So should you want to do that, you can. I think I'm going to be a jerk to those guys. And now we're going to learn what that owl statue's hint meant. He actually is telling us about another mechanic of the Pegasus boots. If you use the rock spreader together with them, you can jump over great gaps, up to 3 spaces long. So we do that, and we get ourselves the Nightmare Key from doing that. Okay, or Nightmare's Key, I should say. Now, I think everybody's had something in like a Mario or Zelda game that scared them as a child, and you're kind of wondering like how they put it into a game. We're about to get into my experience of the thing that scares me. I've always been scared of wall masters and floor masters, as you know from my other Zelda Let's Plays, but these guys scare me. And you're looking at them, you're just like, okay, they look like innocent little bombs. What's the problem here? You know, they kind of got angry eyes. Is that what you're scared of? No. The other ones have that too. It's specifically the green-footed variety. Look at this. We hit them with our sword, and they get that face. You know what that face means? They're going to try to self-destruct on you. Oh my god, that freaks me out every time. Just that face, just the evil smile, together with the fact that they're going to try to blow you up, like by suicide bombing on you. It creeps me out. It's one of the scariest things in this game, which is nuts though, because like you wouldn't think it's that scary though, but like for a kid seeing that and then finding out that they're gonna explode while making that face at you, like, oh my god. Anyway, we get the compass right here, probably the most belated getting of a compass in any dungeon yet. So if you had any trouble finding the keys, this should let you know. We're gonna go ahead and bomb this wall right here because we had a hint to do it earlier from looking at this area from above. Go in here, and, well, the compass chimes, letting us know there's something here, as if the discolored area of the floor wasn't enough. And he's stuck in the wall! Did you hear that? It's like, boo! While he's stuck in the wall. It was kind of funny. That was so weird. He got, like, stuck in the wall. Like, what was up with that? Like, he was walking in the wall, too. You get a fairy if you bust open that, if you lift up that, pot. I kept wanting to say Creighton. Oh, God, I have to deal with these guys again. Do the Pegasus boots instantly kill these? I've always been curious, but I've never had the balls to try it because they usually screw me over when it comes to the bombs. Let's see. Come on. Come on! Walk in the way of it! No, it just pushes them. Okay. Okay. I suppose you probably could get fancy and like use your bombs on them or something like that, but the way that I always deal with them is just slashing them away. They never seem to hit me if I do that. That's just kind of how I always wait out that timer. So, now that we got all these small keys, you might have noticed there's a bunch of blocks in the center of this floor that have keyholes in them. Let's go ahead and use them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do that. And we got this guy. We got a thwomp right here. Even more Mario enemies making an appearance. So many Mario references everywhere. I love it. Hit him with the Pegasus boots and oh! Apparently his crotch was on the side of his head. I do not want to know how anatomically that would work. Okay, I'm a terrible person. I really am. Right over here we have a jump that I am frankly awful at making. I screw up this jump every time. I almost never make this. Yeah, see, I can't even, like, unjinx it or anything like that. I am just terrible at making that jump, and I've never understood the timing on it very well. I'm sure there's some people that find it easy and that it's really not that hard, but it's just always one area that I always have trouble on. I can never get through there. So, I spy some very derpy-looking birds who have caused me a lot of trouble. Die! Oh, no, what? No, 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 there must be, no, stop! I have my Pegasus boots equipped, you don't need to tell me this, they're equipped onto my person right now. Die! No, come back here, die, I want you to die. Die! God, I hate those things so much. Alright, you get yourself a floating heart right here so you can recover yourself, I think 4 hearts if you grab it. And with that, you want to stop here and take your time for a moment. Look at the statues that have eyes. You want to note that. Trust me on that. Because, as you get close to them, they reveal themselves to be keys. And hey, piece of power just before the boss. Not bad. Okay. So we got ourselves that boss door up there, or Nightmare Doors, it's called in Link's Awakening, as I should say. Because I like to be proper with everything. Get ourselves another small key. Very odd. Let's walk up here. And... Neener, neener, you can't find me, nya, nya. Nyan cat? Okay, no, not really. We hit the walls with our Pegasus boots, and we meet the boss of Key Cavern. Meet Slime Eyes. Alright, so he's not really that difficult either. I still stand by the fact saying that the first boss is the toughest boss for like the first 3/4 of Link's Awakening. He'll try to drop down on you from above, but again, as long as you stay in motion, just like Genie, he doesn't really seem to do a whole lot to you. And as you see right there, I got hit one time, and I took him out that easily. He's not difficult. So, with that, I'm gonna walk through here, and with our pointless leftover small key that we didn't need, I'm guessing it's because, guessing if you spent your keys out of order on the center blocks, you could get screwed if you didn't have it, but here we go. We get one of my personal favorite sounding instruments, the Sea Lily's Bell. The Sea Lily's Bell always resonated with me, and not because it's a bell. I wasn't making a pun, I swear. Well, maybe, but... Waterfall. It is hidden in the waterfall. So, that is our third instrument of the Sirens. Not bad. So, took care of all that, and we have the Aldegretus once more. Hoot! How many instruments have you gotten so far? When you play the instruments in front of the egg, the windfish will wake, and you will leave this island. Now you must hasten to the Yarna Desert. The dark, monstrous inhabitants of the sand will show you the way. Sounds friendly. Okay, so... we took care of everything there was to do at the Key Cavern. So, next time on Link's Awakening, how about we see what new things that we can do now that we have the Pegasus boots around Koholint Island, and then possibly head off to the Yarna Desert. See you guys then.